All right, I want to go over a few of the most missed problems from yesterday's assignment. So please follow along here. Again, if you have not updated your most missed questions folder and you missed any of these, please make sure you add the problems to your folder. You should copy the problem down exactly as it is on the assignment. Then you should work the problem correctly and box the correct answer. You want to have this one spot that you can go back and look over problems that you've missed in the past so that you do not repeat the same mistakes as we move forward. Okay? So the first one, a trucker drove 9 hours to deliver a shipment of lumber. Returning home with a lighter load, the trucker averaged 8 miles per hour faster than on the earlier journey. After 7 hours, the trucker was only 60 miles from the starting point. The equation 9s equals 7 times s plus 8 plus 60 models the situation, where s represents the speed traveling to the delivery site. What is the value of s in miles per hour? The first thing I want to point out here is that is a lot of words. That is a very wordy problem with a lot of instructions, a lot of detail. But they give you the equation. They did not expect you to set up the equation. This is a straight up solving equations problem where they just told you a whole bunch of stuff to see if you could decide. All I need to do is solve for s. Okay? So try not to let all of those words overwhelm you. Just cut straight to the point. Now, you do want to read the problems carefully, but make sure you understand what they're asking. In this case, they give you the equation, and they tell you what it models, and then they just ask you for the value of s. So we are just simply solving for s, okay? Try to make it as straightforward as you can for yourself. All right, so let's solve this equation. Remember, when we're solving equations, the first thing we ask ourselves is, can anything be simplified? Well, I look on the left-hand side, nothing can be simplified. I look on the right-hand side, and I see that I have a number bumped right up against the parentheses, which tells me that I need to distribute. So, 9s equals 7 times s is 7s, 7 times 8 is 56, and then my parentheses end, so that's the end of my distributing, but I still have this plus 60. So am I completely simplified now? Not quite. I have like terms here. I have a 56 plus 60 that I can combine. So 9s equals 7s plus 116. All right, looks like I have everything simplified. The next question I ask myself is, are all the variables together? And I can see that I have 9s's on the left and 7s's on the right. So I need to get those together before I start solving for s. So I'm going to subtract 9s from both sides. That's going to leave me 2s equal to 116. I'm simplified, all my variables are together, so now I actually start the process of solving. So I ask myself, what's the goal? The goal is to get s by itself. What number's on the same side of the equal sign as s? 2. What is it doing to s? Multiplying. What's the opposite of multiplication? Division. So what do I need to do? I need to divide by 2 on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels, leaving me s equals 58. Okay? Hopefully, solving equations now comes to you quickly and is real straightforward for you, but if you still need to take your time, remember to ask yourself those questions. Those questions are in your solving equations foldable that you yourself earlier in the year. I also put them on the Canvas page yesterday, listed out for you if you need to revisit those or copy those down into your own notes. Okay? So, take your time, solve the equation. Remember, especially when you're getting onto a big test like a major grade or a STAR test, that you need to be checking your work. I can check this simply by plugging 58 back in for S. in the original problem. So 9 times 58, I want to know, does that equal 7 times 58 plus 8 plus 60? And I'm going to use my calculator for that. So all I'm going to do is plug it in. 9 times 58 is 522. 7 times 58 plus 8 plus 60, and I typed it in just the way they gave it to me with the 58 plugged in for us, is 522. Because 522 is equal to 522, 58 is the correct answer. Okay? Let's go on to the next one. The next problem dealt with the area formula. Again, a very wordy problem with lots of information, but again, you are given the equation that you then just need to solve. Let's look at it. The formula A equals 1/2 HB1 plus 1/2 HB2 gives A, the area of a trapezoid, as a function of the height, h, and the two bases, B1 and B2. For a trapezoid-shaped garden with one base measuring 16 feet, a height of 12 feet, and an area of 168 square feet, the formula becomes 168 equals 1/2 times 12 times 16 plus 1/2 times 12 B2. What is the length B2 in inches? So here we go. We're going to solve this equation. Again, we're going to use our calculator a ton. Let's start simplifying the right-hand side of the equal sign. I have 1/2 times 16 times 12, or let me do that. 1/2 times 12 times 16. I'm going to do it just the way it was given to me. Remembering that when I put fractions in the calculator, I put them in parentheses. That gives me 96 plus 1/2 of 12. Again, if you need to use your calculator to do it, 1/2 of 12 is 6. So plus 6b, and it's the b2. Remember, those subscripts don't mean square it. They don't mean multiply by 2. They're just labeling that that's the second base. 16 was the first base. We're solving for the second base. We will be doing absolutely nothing with that 2. It is just a label. Okay? So I have 168 equals 96 plus 6b2. Now I have it completely simplified, so I'm going to get b by itself. That's what I'm working towards. I need to move everything that's on the same side of the equal sign as b to the other side. I'm always going to start with the number that's not touching b. So I'll be moving the 96 first. We use inverse operations. This is a positive 96. So I'm going to subtract 96 from both sides of the equal sign. 168 minus 96 is 72. 72 equals 6b2. I need to get b by itself. 6 is multiplying by b, so I'm going to divide by 6. And 72 divided by 6 is 12. So 12 is B. The second base on that trapezoid is 12 inches long. Okay? Again, if your missed quiz is not up to date and this is one of the questions that you missed, this needs to be added to your folder. Let's do one more. This one was an inequality. It says, which is not a solution. Guys, when you read a problem and it says something like this, like which is not, please underline, highlight, circle, do something to help your brain. Remember that when I get down to my answer, when I solve, I'm looking for the one that's not correct, okay? That is something that is easily thrown off, and our brains have a hard time keeping up with that. So mark it for yourself. Make it easier on your brain, okay? So I'm going to solve it, and then I'm going to see which answer choice does not work. 6x plus 8 is less than or equal to 11x plus 7. Everything is simplified, so I'm good there. Now I need to get the variables together. I have 11x's here, 6x's here. I'm going to subtract 11x from both sides. I'm going to move my x's to the left side. Remember, there is no specific rule that says you have to move them to the left. It's really up to you. So I get negative 5x plus 8 is less than or equal to 7. Those zeroed out. I'm going to now move the 8 because my goal now is to get x by itself. 7 minus 8 is going to give me negative 1. So I have a negative 5x less than or equal to negative 1. I want x by itself, so I need to get rid of that negative 5. This is negative 5 times x. Be very careful. It is a negative 5, but what is it doing to x? It's multiplying. The opposite of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide by negative 5. Ding, 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 ding. My alarm starts going off in my brain. If I divide by a negative number, I must flip the inequality sign. So before I even simplify, I'm going to flip that sign so that I don't forget to do that. So I end up with x is greater than or equal to 1/5. Okay, greater than or equal to positive 1/5 because the negatives canceled out. All right, so if you feel better with decimals than fractions, write it as x is greater than or equal to 0.2. And again, you can type into your calculator 1 divided by 5, it's going to give you 0.2. So when I think about this, I'm going to think about a number line. And if this is 0, and this is 1, etc., 0.2 is going to be right in here. I'm going to use a colored in dot because it's equal to 0.2. And it's everything greater than. So my shading would go this way. Now I can look at my answer choices. And I'm going to remind myself, because I have this big circle, highlight, underline, whatever it is, that I'm looking for the one that does not work. So x equals 5. Would that be in the shaded region? Yes, that is a true answer. X equals 3. That would be in my shaded region because this shaded region goes on and on. That works. X equals 0.2. This is the answer choice that's trying to throw you off. They want you to pick that because you solved it, you got 0.2, okay, I got it. But that actually is the answer, as is 5 and 3, because it's all the stuff greater than or equal to. So since it's or equal to, 0.2 works. X equals negative 1 is going to be over here. That is not in the shaded region, so that is not a solution to this inequality. Therefore, that is the correct answer. Okay? So a few reminders. Big, huge word problems are okay. Just take your time, take a deep breath, through it, pick out the parts you need. This is just solving equations, all right? Make sure your missed questions folder is updated.